in spite of what's happening today, I am adamant that my voice will be heard as an artist. And in terms of cultural and creative, cultural and current events, it's an artist's mission to tell the stories and the narratives that reflect who we are in the society today.
Hi, Gloretta. Thank you for joining us today.
And thank you for inviting me. Nina Simone. The pieces are called Ascension One and Two, and Nina is, of course, a famous concert pianist as well as an active civil rights activist. And in the 1970s, she did a song called "To Be Young, Gifted, and Black." And because I was an emerging artist, that particular song really resounded to me. I just felt so inspired, and I felt like she was speaking to me to stay the creative force to believe in who I was as an artist, not to be dissuaded that I couldn't, survive as an artist, be true to who I was. The piece itself is a narrative that incorporates drawings, airbrush, mixed media, textiles, and also historical photograph of women who are incarcerated in the Parchment Penitentiary in Mississippi. And the reason why I did that, it's a narrative on convict leasing, where Black people were incarcerated, but they were also used as forced labor. And so these women, in addition to being incarcerated, was on a prison farm where they actually picked the cotton, they made the clothing, the uniforms, both for men and women. They tended the fields, they tended the livestock, and in spite of the adversity that they had to tolerate in that type of a situation, I wanted to show the dignity of these women and the tenacity of them surviving that type of horrific type of circumstance. I found that my ancestry was Yoruba Nigerian, and I felt very compelled to be able to try to tell their stories, because you heard about it, but you didn't see their faces. You didn't know what they were trying to accomplish being students and what their aspirations were. It was 276 young women who were kidnapped from that school. Represent a lot of what these women are going through in terms of them not being whole, or of them being shattered or shredded, their lives in tatters. I mean, there's a lot of ways of looking at that fabric and interpreting what it could possibly be. These are young women who wanted to be judges and artists and, pilots, lawyers, and they were the next generation of leaders in Nigeria, and for them to be kidnapped and to have their dreams circumvented that way was a tragedy. And I wanted to be able to at least, honor them in some way, so they're not forgotten. It's a matriarch series showing the matriarch and the granddaughter, and she's doing the intergenerational transmission of culture. And you see, the strength and also the protectiveness of her being with her young charge. And I was just struck by, seeing them together, and I was grateful for the opportunity to be able to capture that. I always like to celebrate our unique beauty, and I just wanted to incorporate, with the animal elements, the strength and tenacity of the African woman. Black women need to be celebrated because, we're caretakers, we work in a lot of different professional capacities, but we give so much. But to be able to celebrate self, that's important. Based on current events of what's happening today, right now, in terms of social justice and disparity and what's happening in the country today, it needs to be addressed in a lot of different ways that people understand so they can process what's happening. And so I think that many of my colleagues, as well as myself, will be addressing, those narratives as well. We have to tell our own stories, otherwise they won't be told.